Your first alert forecast with meteorologist Corey Thompson.
6:44, and Corey, didn't see much snow stick on the ground, but we did see some really pretty snowflakes for a little bit and had a little bit of sleet too.
A little bit, yeah. There's some mixed precipitation there, and that's something that we can see perhaps over the next day or two as well as a little bit sticking here or there. We saw a little bit light last night after dark stick up toward Decorah. Now this morning we are watching snow, but we're talking about New Year's as well. It's not that far away, so we'll combine the two in your weather-wise question. In Cedar Rapids, which was the snowiest New Year's Day on record? Fairly straightforward. Here's your options: 1942, 1978, 1985, or was it just a couple years ago in 2022? Not that long ago at all. Think about it for a minute. We do have some areas of snowfall moving through our southern zone primarily at this point, but the northern edge of it starting to pass closer to the Highway 30 corridor, at least in terms of where it could be falling. Pinpoint just a little bit closer. You see the heavier activity down toward Iowa City and Coralville, but starting to get a little closer to the Cedar Rapids area too. Now inside this white outline is really the area that could be best in line to see some snowfall that could affect your morning commute as it spreads to the northwest and eventually to the west-northwest as it curves around an area of low pressure. Now the good news is that road conditions at this point are reported as seasonal here in eastern Iowa, but this is an area in southern Iowa that saw some snow overnight, and they did see some slick roadways develop, so we are watching out for that too. Our Coralville City Cam shows wet roads at this point. Temperatures in Coralville are hanging out just above freezing at 35 degrees, 33 in Waterloo, 31 in Dubuque. So we're close to freezing or just a little bit above already. And as the sun comes up, that will help keep roads generally at least less snow-packed than they might otherwise be. That chance for rain and snow is what we're highlighting here on your first alert. The possibility as we go through the day into the evening hours. We turn drier tonight as that activity tapers off. So we'll start off here, 6 o'clock this morning. Areas of precipitation generally curving around that area of low pressure that's located to our south, closer to St. Louis. On the northern end of it, again, repeated activity possible in spots. And so that's why we could see a little bit of it stick today, just because of the repeat nature of it. As we head toward this evening, things get quieter and eventually a little bit clearer too. We see more clearing for more folks as we head toward tonight. More clouds move in from the northeast though tomorrow morning, and with it a batch of precipitation, likely in the form of light snow that again may mix with some light rain. That is the case today and tomorrow, but it spreads across more of the area as we go through the day. In fact, it lingers into tomorrow evening potentially as well. Now as that snow moves through, it could stick in spots. Again, trace to an inch is a possibility for the areas here highlighted in white, but we're fighting against those warmer temperatures. So if you are in one of those areas, it will likely be of limited impact than it otherwise might be if we had colder air around. Temperatures today, 39 in Manchester, 38 in Washington across the area. So yeah, we're talking upper 30s, similar range to what we experienced yesterday in general. Your 9-day forecast keeps things in the similar range over the next few days. We'll be in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees as we have between now and Friday. Friday is when things dry out a bit. Into the weekend, though, is when things turn a little bit colder. New Year's at this point looks like it could be some of the coldest days in our 9-day forecast before things kind of bounce around the 30s for highs into the middle of next week. Lows in the 20s make a return, though, too, so it will be chillier for starts of the days looking ahead. Your weather-wise question: when was the snowiest New Year's Day on record in Cedar Rapids? Variety of options here, only one of them in this millennium.
I'm remembering, I feel like 2022 was snowy, but I don't know about the other ones.
I know, it's kind of bad. That was only 2 years ago, and I'm like, what was I doing on New Year's in 2022?
I had to think, like, so that was how many years ago if that was the New Year? Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I think I'll go B, 1978, for no reason.
Yeah, I'm going to say C, 1985.
It's the rare occasion where you guys split your answers and you're both right. It's actually a tie.
Wow, yay for us.
Both of those years had 4.5 inches of snow on New Year's Day. 2022 was up there. It's actually the 4th snowiest on record, so that was very recent where it was snowy. Good memory. I do not remember that. But yes, that is a time where that took place. So yes, it can happen. We have had snowstorms on New Year's. It just looks unlikely this year.
Even 4.5, that's not a ton of snow.
Not a ton, but enough that it could cause a little disruption to some of those New Year's plans. And of course, that was just the calendar date as well. Some of it may have felt New Year's Eve, etc. So yes, we're just happy to have a clear of obstruction holiday to celebrate.
Yeah, it makes it easy to get around.
For sure.
Thanks, Corey.